Something in you has already stopped running. You didn't stop on purpose. You didn't decide to slow down. You just got to a point where the next step felt impossible. Not because you're lazy, not because something's broken, but because you've been running a version of yourself that was built for someone else's comfort for a very long time. That's what this series is about. Not fixing you, not motivating you, not giving you 5 steps to a better morning routine. This is about what happens when you finally stop pretending you're fine. My name is NAUTIA, and every Friday I read, slowly, without rush. For the hours when your hands are busy but your mind is finally quiet enough to hear something true. Today is the first episode of a series called Tired of Being Fine. It's a book. I wrote it for the person who has read all the books, taken all the courses, tried all the things, and still wakes up feeling like a stranger in their own life. If that's you, stay. Let's begin. Return. You are holding something more than a book. This is a formal permission to stop. If you're listening to these words right now, something in you has already stopped running. You didn't decide to stop. It just happened. Your body gave out before your mind gave permission. That's how it usually goes. Not broken, not lazy. Running on empty in the specific way that comes from years of managing a version of yourself that was built for other people's comfort. You know exactly what that feels like. The constant performance of capability, the grinding, quiet work of justifying your right to rest, your right to money, your right to a life that actually belongs to you. You've been doing it so long it doesn't feel like performance anymore. It just feels like Tuesday. This book carries one message. The war is over. The coordinates back to yourself are inside this text. Why the fight has ended. We were trained inside a paradigm of combat. Life is a battlefield. Resources must be seized. Love must be earned. Your place in the world must be defended, inch by inch, year by year, smile by smile. You were a good soldier. You learned to carry pain and call it character. You learned to keep going when stopping would have been the smarter move. You learned to look fine when you weren't. You got very good at it. But at what cost? Chronic anxiety, slow burnout, a quiet, persistent sense that you are living inside a life someone else designed. Here's the thing most personal development gets wrong. The highest form of growth is not the capacity to endure more. It is a completely different operating premise. Permission is the apex, not endurance. You no longer need to clench your fists. Your inner light does not need to be a searchlight cutting through darkness for others to navigate by. Let it become something steadier, not performance, just warmth. The fight is over. Your right to a life that is yours requires no prior suffering as payment. Read that again if you need to. Your right to a life that is yours requires no prior suffering as payment. How to remove the armor without losing your strength. The deepest fear of someone who has spent years in survival mode sounds like this. If I stop, if I let the armor go, the world will dismantle me. I will lose everything I have built. This is the logic of a system running on emergency power for years. The armor was built for specific conditions. Those conditions have changed. The armor has not. And here's what the armor does that nobody talks about. It doesn't only block pain. It blocks the signal that tells you who you actually are. Think of a coiled steel spring, strong under permanent tension. Metal fractures eventually, it always does. Now think of a deep, still lake. Throw a stone into it. Ripples move across the surface. Within seconds, the water is perfectly smooth again. Water cannot be broken. Water cannot be wounded. When the armor comes off, you don't become vulnerable. You become that lake. How this works. I want to tell you one thing before we go deeper. Throughout this series, you'll hear short phrases that aren't English words. They aren't decorative. They aren't a language you need to translate. Your nervous system anchors to sound and rhythm before your mind can intercept the signal. These phrases bypass the part of you that argues and second guesses and function instead as a direct instruction to your body. Stillness. Now. The first time you hear one, take a slow breath in. Let your shoulders drop. That's the entire practice. One rule for this series. Don't try to absorb it all at once. Listen to one episode at a time. Give your nervous system time to recalibrate to the absence of pressure. That last part is important. Not the absence of content, the absence of pressure. This is a space without pressure. Now, before we go any further, there's something that needs to happen. Not a dramatic thing, a quiet thing. Before you turn the next page, a demarcation must be made. Not with me, with the part of yourself that has been waiting, quietly, without a name, for a very long time. The act of claiming yourself. You can say this out loud if you're somewhere private. You can say it internally if you're driving. Either way, let the words land somewhere real. I enter this space consciously, of my own free will. I acknowledge that my old architecture served its purpose. It carried weight. It got me here. I release it now, not with contempt, but with precision. Right to slowness. I allow myself to move through this at my own pace. It's the obligation to understand everything immediately, to do everything perfectly, or to chase fast results. The right to refuse. I permit myself to be inconvenient to those who have built their access around my compliance. I have the right to say no to anything that drains me. The right to silence. Not obligated to explain my changes. My limits, my rest, my stillness are not arguments to be won. They are structural facts. The right to a life that is mine. My right to flourish requires no justification, no prior suffering as payment. I claim these coordinates. The territory is mine. This is not a wish. This is a fact in formation. The first episode ends here, not because there's nothing more to say, because your nervous system needs space to absorb what just happened without immediately moving to the next thing. That's the practice, right there. Next Friday we go deeper. We look at the noise in your head, where it actually comes from, how much of it was never yours to begin with, and what to do the next time it tells you to move faster. Until then, protect your stillness. NAUTIA.